This is Rob Van Dam, and you're watching Cold TV. Bam!
Salutations, everybody, and welcome back to Pro Wrestling 60, where we talk about everything that happened in the world of professional wrestling in 60 minutes or less from this past week. I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner, grandma, brother from another mother, the man, the myth, the legend himself from Stone Mountain, Georgia this weekend. We'll just say that. Mr. Broll.
Yeah, how we doing out there, world? Let me talk to you.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you personally for helping out last week and doing everything you do. Of course, everything you always do for Cole TV, but especially last week with hosting duties and stuff, for learning the ropes, as well as for our Summerslam prediction show. And huge thank you to everybody that participated in those shows: Hambone, Sienna, Extreme League Wrestling, Bree, Justin Bundy, all of you. Just thank you all so much for supporting us. Really appreciate it.
Did you get Extremely?
Yeah, I said Extremely. Okay. So. But man, what a week it's been in the world of professional wrestling, right, B-Roll?
Yes, we say it all the time, and it is nothing but a chicken wing. I'm glad that my hosting skills, which are kind of iffy, but I'm glad we're still on the air.
You did a wonderful job.
That's the most important thing. But as we always say here on PW60, the clock starts now, so let's get right into it.
We got a lot to talk about because, yes, our top story of the week, we are coming off of Summerslam in Detroit. And we were talking about this kind of as we come on the air here. I don't know how I feel about this SummerSlam. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I didn't hate it by all means. It was a fun SummerSlam, but I don't know. In comparison to, it just feels like it's not going to be one we're going to be talking about years from now. But maybe that'll change. Who knows? But I don't know. It just felt it was a good SummerSlam, but it just wasn't like the typical, we're going to be talking about this years to come event. I think
it was good. Not really a whole lot of shocking moments. I mean, you did have the.
Well, let's get right into that. Your main event. We're talking about it. Roman Reigns against Jey Uso. Tribal combat for control of the bloodline, as well as the undisputed Universal WWE Championship. I mean, this match had been hyped up. We all have been just chomping at the bit to see this matchup. And first and foremost, got to give a huge shout out to Jey. How about that drip, man? Coming out, it's got all white. Little homage to his father Rikishi with the little head shrinker kind of like stuff on the side of his gear. Man, Jey Uso looked like $1 million last night or Saturday night.
You're starting to sound like our good friend Hambone, looking into the drip.
I was just saying, man. I mean, he brought it, and he also brought it in this matchup too, man. Because this was another classic in this storyline that is the bloodline. Man, there were so many people cheering and hoping that Jey Uso would be the one, but you started to say it yourself, Mr. B-Roll. Let's talk about that shocking moment of the night. I still can't believe it. Where Jimmy Uso returns, and what's he do? He turns on his brother Jey. I'm still flabbergasted this happened. I mean, just was there really any reason for it? Why? Why did he do this?
I mean, I don't think we're really going to know until we get to hear from Jimmy, really. I mean, and that probably won't be till SmackDown next week. So,
the only thing I can think of is there's jealousy because I mean, at this point, we've talked about it before here on this show. As great as the Usos are, Jey Uso is the star of these brothers, man. I mean,
Mhm.
he's
Yeah.
$1 million, and that's
Yeah.
nothing against Jimmy. Jimmy's awesome too, but I can't believe he would turn on his brother like this, man. I mean,
Yeah.
just look at that. Look at that look of just like, what have I done? You know? Like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he's proud of what he'd done, but he knew he had. So conflicted on this matchup, man. Like, just once again, this storyline is going to continue on in the WWE.
Well, and I mean, it's real interesting because I mean, what's the status of Solo and Roman right now, too?
Right, exactly, because
So
there's some dissension there, it appears like. So, I would say Roman. I don't think Roman's going to wrestle for a little bit. I think he'll take like a couple months off, and they'll let like Jimmy and Jay kind of do their thing, and then I think at some point, yeah, you're going to get, like I say, this thing's going to get stretched out to the end of the year, if not into the beginning of next year. I wouldn't be
yeah,
shocked to see Solo against Roman at the Royal Rumble or something like that.
yeah, and I will say, the Usos have gone on record saying that they're like their dream feud is against each other, and I think the pieces are there to make it interesting and add to the story.
Yeah.
um, because it happens. I mean, whenever Jimmy's gotten hurt, like Jay has always kind of benefited from that.
Yeah.
So still shocking though. Still
It's still
shocking.
shocking though. But your Roman Reigns is still your tribal chief. He is still the head of the table. Can I just make one suggestion or one nitpick thing I would have done with this matchup? I really think they should have. Is I think they should have had like a tribal commune like ringside. They should have had like all the Samoans there. It should have been like
Yeah,
the
some families.
Wild Samoans,
Yeah,
Rikishi. That
some
they should have
families
been.
should have been there. Yeah.
Yes, I think that would have added that great touch that the match needed. But it was still a great matchup. But a lot of fans still upset, and like here we go again with more gifs and more memes of how Roman's going to reign for the next 100 years or whatever. So, but I'm not shocked in the least bit. I mean, I thought going into it Roman would retain. So. But a tremendous main event nonetheless at SummerSlam. But we also had some other incredible matches on this card too. One that I felt that really delivered and surprised me. What about the triple threat match for the women's championship between Asuka defending against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair? Some great back and forth. I honestly legit thought Bianca was hurt like during this one when she went
Yeah.
down on the steel steps. I thought like, oh shit,
Yeah.
she's really
I
hurt.
mean, she did do like a flip off the top rope after, but yeah, I
Oh,
thought
as soon as she's climbing the top rope, you're like, okay, man,
yeah,
I got it.
I
But
thought
still,
maybe she was too. I gotta be honest though.
it didn't do it for you.
No, I enjoyed this match. It was solid. But couple things. I am a little shocked that they did not have Charlotte win and then get cashed in on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little confused by that too because like okay, then it gets a number for Charlotte. Now with Bianca, because we're going to talk about what happened after Bianca won this. Because with Bianca winning it, like maybe like and how the end result was the aftermath, maybe it's trying to make her a little bit more sympathetic, I suppose, but also maybe giving her all the more reason to join, become a bad guy, if you will, join the dark side. I don't know, but let's talk about the surprise of the night on SummerSlam and arguably probably the best moment of the night. Yes, Io Sky has cashed in her Money in the Bank, and she is your new WWE Women's Champion. And hey, if you watched our prediction show, you know our good friend Hambone did say that Io Sky would be cashing in. It just was against a different person, but still, though, nonetheless, she is now the new. What's what are we calling this one again? I always forget.
They're just calling it the Women's Champion.
So now it's just the Women's Championship. God, WWE make this shit so confusing. But
so I don't know what Rhea's is called.
I don't know, but it's still like awesome to see. Also, too, here's an interesting note here with Io Sky. She has become the first woman from Stardom to hold the major world championship in the WWE. I think that's pretty badass. Just
Yeah.
shows you how awesome she is.
Yeah, all of when you think because wasn't she NXT champion as well at one point?
Yep, she was
Yeah,
former NXT
yeah,
champion, so
yeah.
like she's very decorated. She's one of the best wrestlers going today. So happy for Io Sky, a tremendous moment at SummerSlam, and I think that if anything is any moment we talk about years from now, that's going to be the one we go to on this year's
Yeah,
SummerSlam.
isn't it crazy though that for the women's Money in the Bank cash-ins, it's still 100% success rate.
That's an interesting statistic when you
There's
think about
never
it.
there now. I can't remember how many years it's been that they've
Yeah,
done the women's, but
but
yeah,
still, though, it's a pretty impressive number nonetheless. Well, speaking of impressive, man, how about this matchup for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship with Finn Balor against Seth freaking Rollins? We all knew the story. Kudos to Finn Balor and the 7 on the shoulder there, man. Gosh, that was so epic on so many levels. I like too how it looked. If you looked at it, it looks like it says even as well, like he's getting
yeah,
even for like what happened to him at
yeah.
SummerSlam 7 years ago. So, man, oh man, this match I thought was a million times better than their match they had at Money in the Bank. Still disappointed a little bit with the outcome, not gonna lie. I really thought Finn was gonna win this one, but Seth Rollins does retain. And there you see it on Senior Money in the Bank, the look of disdain on his eyes. And Judgment Day, it looked like they were doing okay, but I don't know, Mr. B-Roll. I think come Monday night, we may see. You think Finn Balor's out of the Judgment Day?
He's either out or I think he gets kicked out. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it
yeah,
could get played off as because I don't know. When they came out there, they were trying to help,
mm-hmm.
right? And we also don't know if because Finn even did go on record saying that either way, we've got it in the bag.
Yeah,
But
yeah. And it seemed like there was a plan there, and Finn was like, "No, no, no, I'm going to do this my way." And I don't know. It can't be good though. I think that we are seeing the beginning of the end, at least for
yeah,
Finn Balor in
I mean,
Judgment Day. It looks
this
like.
is like Bloodline 2.0 basically. That's how Judgment Day is getting treated. They are going to be like the next I feel like overarching story.
Yeah,
Um,
but
how
it's
they're
gonna be
popping up everywhere.
yeah, but it's gonna be interesting to see what happens this upcoming week to the Judgment Day. But I tell you what, I think probably the biggest surprise of the night for me, honestly, is how much I enjoyed this matchup. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar 3. Um, this was another very physical matchup. Was surprised there was no real stipulation for this matchup,
Yep.
but you know what? Cody and Brock delivered, man. This was fun to watch, and like the cool thing was there you see it at the end where they have that handshake and Brock's raising Cody's arm up and like approval, giving that like sealed approval from the Beast incarnate.
Yeah, I guess, and I was reading something. I guess Triple H said that was unplanned.
Really? Now
That
that's interesting.
Brock just did that. So now,
Yeah.
whether he's just saying that or
Who knows? But still, it's
what,
cool. He got the rub nonetheless. I mean,
but yeah, we were talking beforehand, and honestly, this out of the matches, if you made me pick which one was my favorite, I think this one was it. It's either that or the
yeah,
triple threat, but I think I would give the nod to this one because I did enjoy the storytelling, the psychology,
yeah.
um,
Yeah,
in
and the
this
kind of
in this
build-up, I
match.
think we
Yeah,
were kind of burnt out a little bit, but they always deliver in the ring. So now we've
yeah,
got the end of this trilogy. Now it's going to be interesting to see where Cody goes from. I honestly thought we were going to find out at the end of this matchup, but looks like we're going to have to wait to Monday Night Raw. Um, Bray Wyatt.
yeah. And I don't
It's
know about
time.
you.
It's time, Bray.
I
I
don't know
need
about
I need Bray Wyatt against Cody Rhodes in my life. Damn it.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but like I got an ad right after this match, or like after like the aftermath of it, and like it had like an eyeball pop on the screen. I was like, "Oh, here we go. Is this a vignette?" And then it was like, "Nope, it's just an ad."
No, for fight scene, clear eyes. No, that's interesting, but no, I didn't get that. But yeah, I'll be excited to see where it goes from Cody here. And I'll be interested to see what's Lesnar gonna do. I mean, Lesnar's pretty much done everything. I mean, I'm assuming he's going back to his like, back to Canada, back to his like farm where he can farm and hunt and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe WrestleMania season we'll see Brock again. Who knows?
Probably.
But nonetheless, it was a nice conclusion to their summer trilogy. Also at SummerSlam, we got to see big meaty men slap big meaty men as Drew McIntyre challenged Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, and it was another hard-hitting, explosive matchup. This time one-on-one between these two. I love the physicality of this matchup. This match pretty much went the way I kind of thought it would, and of course Gunther did defeat Drew to continue his reign as the Intercontinental Champion as he gets closer and closer to breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record. What do you think of this matchup, Mister B-Roll?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of what we expected. Yeah, I mean, he's breaking the record.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah,
he's so totally breaking the record, and
I can't see him not. Right.
I do think I think Sheamus somehow is the one to eventually dethrone him.
I honestly think he loses it just because he gives it up and wants to go after the world title or something. I don't think he actually gets beat, honestly. I think he just gives it up, essentially. But I don't know. We'll just wait and see. But we're pretty close to that record finally getting broken. So, and rightfully so. It should be the man, Gunther. And then the controversial, everybody was talking about the Slim Jim Battle Royal, which was pretty much a vehicle for your boy, LA Knight. Yeah. So, yes, LA Knight does go on to win this one. But I got to tell you, as soon as they announced Omos was in this one, I was scared shitless. I was like, God damn it. They're not going to do this. Oh, I'm so glad Omos did not win this damn thing, though. So. It was a pretty good showing for LA Knight in this one. You know what else really impressed me in this battle royal? This guy, he's always so damn good, and they're never gonna push him because they just don't realize what they got. It was Chad Gable. I thought Chad Gable was awesome in this battle royal.
Yeah.
And I want to say this about LA Knight. This is how invested I am into his character. This is how damn good he is. Like he made a battle royal like interesting with there's no wasn't like whoever wins this is getting a title shot or anything like that. It was just like to have the match on the show essentially.
Apparently, whoever won got a Slim Jim commercial. So
are you shitting me? They were fighting for a Slim Jim commercial. Are you fucking kidding me?
Did you not have the ad that played like literally right after it?
And apparently not. Like, oh my god.
You must pay. You must pay for that premium stuff, man.
No, or maybe I went to take a leak. I don't know. I just don't remember the ad.
There literally was a Slim Jim commercial with him and Bianca Belair that like played right after the
Of course there was. Man, I just hot take real quick. I'm already burnt out on the fucking advertising in the matches. Like the women's match, they kept on going back to that stupid ass energy drink. C4 energy presents to you. Like, ugh. And then Bianca's entrance, by the way, earlier we didn't mention that, but with the damn energy drink. That's why you lost, Bianca, because you're peddling that crap. So I'm not an energy drink guy. I'm just.
So wait, if she would have had a Prime, would she have been okay?
No, it would have been worse unless it was a Prime hydration drink. Now that's different. But anyways, nonetheless, this match happened. I will say this: I definitely think they should have added the Raquel versus Rhea, as well as Trish versus Becky. Should have been on this card over this bullshit. No offense to LA Knight, but that's just the way I feel about it. And we're moving on. And speaking of moving on, it looks like Miss Ronda Rousey may be moving on and out of the world of professional wrestling. And she lost this matchup to her bestie Shayna Baszler in this MMA rules match as Shayna choked her out. I don't know. I didn't really care for this one, if I'm being quite honest. I just
Yeah.
I don't know. The packages they put together was great.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, I'm ready for Ron. I'm ready to see Ronda kind of go on to the next thing, and I truly believe she will return to the UFC, and that's going to get a huge number. I think honestly, that's the best thing she can do for her career now. I think she's really done everything she can do in the WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't deny she had a great run, regardless how you feel about her. But I don't know. I just feel like this was the swan song, essentially. You know, the tradition in pro wrestling, you got to go out on your back, right? So, or getting choked out. And that's what happened here.
Get choked up by a best friend. It happens. It happens. But, and I know we need to move on, but at one point, was the crowd chanting, "This is boring"?
Oh, yes. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
This is definitely, I'm not going to lie, this was a piss break match for me, too. So, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. So we move on. And finally at SummerSlam, let's talk about the opening matchup. Logan Paul going up against Ricochet. This was a pretty good opener to kick off SummerSlam. I was pretty impressed with this matchup. I mean, it wasn't like, I don't think it was Logan Paul's best, but I mean, it was still a good fun. It was just a good opener. Is the best way I could describe this.
It was a good, fun opener. There you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
I gotta admit, I had no idea that like his brother was fighting that night in Dallas. So like literally, they do this matchup first, I think, so he can hop a jet and then be in his corner in Dallas for his MMA fight. Yeah, where Jake Paul did end up defeating, I think, Nate Diaz. So.
It's amazing what money can do for you.
No kidding. But overall, like we say, SummerSlam was a fun show. It's just like I don't think it's going to be one we're talking about years from now. But I mean, it was a fun show. Like if I'm comparing it to last year's show, I'll be honest, I did enjoy last year's show more. But I mean, this was still a good show. Don't get me wrong.
Last year's had a freaking tractor in it.
Yes.
So like
there's that. And I think us wrestling fans are just spoiled rotten too, because I mean, like so much is going on in the world of wrestling. And speaking of which, we got to move on here because we got so much more to talk about. Let's talk about this AEW Dynamite, their 200th episode from this past week. And man, this was an impactful episode 200. Would you say, B-Roll? Yeah, well, let's get right into it. Yes, Rob Van Dam making his AEW debut. I know you popped hard. I popped mainly because, like, I haven't heard him come out to Pantera in years. And I'm just so happy that Tony Khan got the rights to that. Oh, my God. This was a moment for me. Like, and it looks like what I'm seeing from the storyline being suggested. Are we about to see Jungle Boy feud against ECW Originals? Because that's kind of what I'm feeling is about to happen here.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that because I mean, some of the originals, can go, but some of them,
Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray said they'd kick his butt.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. But we also got some other fun moments on Dynamite from this past week as well. I thoroughly enjoyed. We're gonna go back here one because I want to talk about that moment in the ring with MJF and Adam Cole. And it seems like MJF has gone full-blown babyface, folks, which is like, we've seen this before, but we've never seen it to this level. Now, a lot of people pointing out online the way Adam Cole is hugging MJF here, as if or Adam Cole is going to stab MJF in the back. I don't know. Do you think that's going to happen here, B-Roll?
Well, if you watch it back, so when the hug starts, he has a closed fist, hits it, and then...
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He did the same thing to Roderick Strong.
This is true. But a big announcement was made on Dynamite, too. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But also Chris Jericho teaming up with Takeshita, going up against the JAS. What's going on with Chris Jericho and the JAS? We're going to find out some more information on that this week. But Not looking good for the Jericho Appreciation Society. It looks like they may be donezo. And you know what else really surprised me this night too was that triple threat with Penta El Ciro, Trent, and John Moxley. It was a hell of a matchup, and Trent picking up the win. I thought that was badass seeing him get a W in such a big matchup. But
yeah, and I did enjoy Chuck Taylor's words saying, "Well, this didn't solve anything. We'll see you on Friday at Rampage."
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that here in a couple of minutes too. And of course, Aussie Open retained their tag titles, but the match of the night, the moment of the night, we got to talk about it. Hikaru Shida against Tony Storm for the Women's Championship, and holy Shida, Hikaru Shida is now your AEW Women's Champion. And of course, if you haven't figured it out by now, she is our Wrestler of the Week because B-Roll, I did not see this coming at all.
Didn't either. Two-time
champion. So congratulations to Shida, man. She definitely deserves it. But overall, Dynamite 200 was awesome. But hey, we mentioned the announcement, the big announcement. Folks, we have got a main event for All In London. It is a return matchup for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship with MJF defending against Adam Cole. B-roll, what do you make of this main event? Like, this to me feels like this is what should rightfully be the main event of that show. What do you think?
I mean, their first match was a banger.
Yeah, and I mean, this storyline, this has been the summer of MJF and Adam Cole's friendship. This storyline,
the bromance of the summer.
Oh, it really is. Like, this has been the best thing AEW has done all summer, and they've had an amazing summer, but for it to come to a conclusion at All In, the biggest show in AEW history, hell, they're calling it the biggest event in wrestling history. This is going to be something to see, man. I'm all here for it, and
you're all in. You're all in for
it.
And the other beautiful part about this, 1 p.m. Eastern start time.
Oh, I know. I can't wait. You can have the rest of the day to do whatever. It's going to be great. Well, let's talk about also Collision. Which was interesting. Collision going up against SummerSlam. It's the first time we're really seeing like the Collision have to go up against the WWE show, especially like a big one like SummerSlam. But man, Collision brought it. Collision was a great show, I thought. Of course, you had that main event with CM Punk defending his title against Ricky Starks. Of course, Punk ended up retaining, but man, oh man, Ricky Starks took some liberties at the end there with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which, by the way, I popped so hard when Steamboat came out to his like WCW music from the 90s. I was a little kid again. I was just like, yes, this is what I want. I was so freaking happy. Also, you had the House of Black was in action. Defending their trios championship. And speaking of defending titles, Chris Statlander defended her title against Mercedes Martinez, retaining that TBS title, and FTR retaining their tag team championships against Big Bill and Brian Cage. Like say is a loaded show, but man, oh man, we talked about All In. We got some huge ramifications. But first, I want to talk about this, of course. Good old JR, Jim Ross, returning to commentary for the main event. I was tickled pink to see Jim Ross, and he did a great job with Ian Riccaboni and Nigel McGuinness. I love this trio. They did an amazing job, I thought. Great to have JR back and to see that he is healthy again. But let's talk about it, B-roll. FTR laid it down on the line. They want to defend their tag titles at Wembley Stadium, and they want the Young Bucks. What do you think of this historic matchup? Speechless, right?
I mean, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better matchup, man. Oh my gosh, I am just salivating at this one. And also, they weren't the only ones challenging people for All In on Collision Saturday night. Samoa Joe, after destroying Serpentico in like less than 10 seconds or something, pretty much called out CM Punk and says he wants a rematch. And there is no better place to do this at Wembley Stadium at All In. Dude, I am so freaking pumped to see that. I love these guys every time they wrestle from the get-go. But man, oh man, I am so freaking pumped to see these guys go at it again. It's at the biggest stage you can be on, the biggest crowd they've ever been in front of. All in. This is perfect to me. You talk about perfect, man. So already these 3 potential matchups that we've got for All In's already like that pretty much sells the show. Like, and there's going to be more to come. But man, oh man, Mr. B-Roll, I am so excited for this matchup. And speaking of excitement, let's talk about what was announced for next week's Collision. That's right. House of Black against CMFTR for the World Trios Championship. Mr. B-Roll, how excited are you for this?
Oh, brother. I hope they don't put the trios belts on them.
Oh, that's your first thing you go towards. So I don't think they would. But man, oh man, this is going to be epic. House of Black in the same ring, like Malachi Black in the same ring as Punk. Oh my god, like I cannot freaking wait for this one, dude. I am so fucking excited. Like I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am for this matchup, man. It's going to be awesome.
House of Black all the way.
House of Black, yes, absolutely, my friend. And hey, speaking of AEW and big news from this week, let's talk about it. The Elite have re-signed with AEW, as if there was any doubt. But still, like, I've read some interesting stories about this, and it was like there was some serious thoughts of them going to the WWE. The matter of fact, they put it to a vote. But I mean, it was one of those things where it's just like the scheduling and the amount of money that's being put towards them. It was like, how do you say no to that? My understanding is the Young Bucks now have the biggest guaranteed contract the tag team has ever received in professional wrestling with re-signing with AEW.
Yep.
I mean, I can't imagine AEW without them, right?
It would be, yeah. I mean, it would be difficult. Like, I think it would have been more. I don't know. Like, I could have seen Hangman or Kenny making the jump. I don't think Young Bucks were going anywhere.
Yeah, but
I think they all made the right decision. And Dark Order also re-signed.
We have the Dark Order re-signed this week too, and I'm hoping they do something with them. But we'll have to, as we say on here, time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. Well, speaking of time, it's that time of the show. Let's go to Dad Hat with Dad Hat's friendly advice of the week.
It's that time of the week again. Dad Hat's life lessons of the week. Brought to you by World Championship Wreckage. Find them on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And also by the Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Wednesday, twitch.tv/Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. And now, here's Dad Hat.
All right, kids. Always remember, always be careful who you meet in real life from the internet.
I love it. The Clash of the Worlds. Our buddy Simply Nicholas getting to meet Dad at the gathering from this past weekend. So it's awesome. I'm sure you guys had an awesome time. Speaking of an awesome time, Rampage actually was a pretty fun show Friday night, man. You had Anna Jay. I was really surprised getting a win against Sky Blue. But let's talk about it. The match to be talking about. Let's talk about the parking lot fight.
Can I talk about one thing real quick
Sure.
before we go into that?
Sure.
AR Fox coming out in the same clothes that he attacked Nick Wayne.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty dope.
Savage.
That was pretty dope. But speaking of savage, this parking lot brawl, which, believe it or not, it's our match of the week. Who would have thunk it on a week like this? A Rampage match is our match of the week. And I mean that no disrespect to Rampage, but dude, this match was awesome. Like a great sequel to the original one. And my gosh, the Blackpool Combat Club is just, they're so damn violent. Why, B-Roll? They have anger issues. You think they should go to therapy or something? You think that would help the BCC?
Maybe.
Because, I mean, look at Claudio here doing the giant swing to Trent. And just what about the devastating shit they pulled against Trent's mom and the minifan, practically like traumatizing her and like fucking ripping the door off and the damn like flattening her tire. It's like, come on, BCC, man, you could do better than that.
Nobody should mess with Sue.
Damn straight, but nonetheless, man, oh man, this was a tremendous moment and a tremendous matchup this week, and it's our match of the week here on Pro Wrestling 60. Well, this seems like a lifetime ago, but we got to talk about it. Monday Night Raw this past week was a pretty loaded show going into, of course, the SummerSlam go home show. You have Riddle go up against Ludwig Kaiser from Imperium. You also got to see a matchup with Maxine Dupree going up against Valhalla. Tommaso Ciampa and Shinsuke Nakamura continuing their rivalry. And of course, all the hype for Cody and Brock and the Judgment Day continuing their war against everybody on Monday Night Raw. Pretty much, they ended up going up against Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins in the main event. But the match that really impressed me was the 5-minute challenge match with Gunther and Chad Gable. Once again, I can't say enough great things about Chad Gable, man. Like, he is so over. WWE, fucking use him. Do something with him, for God's sakes. Come on, man. Come on. Well, over on Friday Night SmackDown, once again, we had our go-home show before SummerSlam. Of course, in this case, the day before. LA Knight having a tremendous moment there, going up against Sheamus. I thought the Grayson Waller effect with Damage Control was fun. I'm always enjoying watching his stuff. But once again, the Bloodline story, as we saw continue on with Solo going up against Jay, and then Paul talking about tribal combat. But the biggest moment of the night by far on SmackDown. Let's talk about it, Mr. B-Roll, you boys. Looks like the Street Profits have gone rogue. They're bad guys now. Or Hurt Business 0.20 is in business, as the Street Profits have more or less aligned themselves with Bobby Lashley. What do you make of this?
Nah, saw it coming forever ago. No.
You have been preaching about it for a while.
I am happy about this, though.
Yeah.
And it would make me even happier if Bianca goes to a dark place and ends up joining them.
It could happen, dude. It very well could happen. But both SmackDown and Raw were very entertaining this week. This really busy week for them as they got ready for SummerSlam. All right, Mr. B-Roll, let's spice things up a bit. Let's go to Spicy with his spicy take.
It is your boy, the spiciest of guacamoles, letting you know that family lineage doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're part of the Hart Dynasty. Doesn't matter if you're part of the NY family. The only family that seems to matter is Flair country, baby. If you ain't Charlotte Flair, you ain't nothing. 14-time champ, baby. 14. Who got that? Who got that? Goddamn right.
Man's not wrong. Well, speaking of WWE television, NXT, let's talk about what happened there this week on NXT. Another fun week. Nothing too crazy happened or out of the ordinary. Of course, a lot of the emphasis put on SummerSlam, but I love the opener with JC Jane against Laya Valkyrie. I thought was great. All the stuff with Dominic on there with Rhea, and it looks like he's going to be facing Dragon Lee this upcoming week. Got to see Dijak go up against Eddie Thorpe this week. Carmelo Hayes and Wes Lee teaming up. That was an interesting team to see. The Schism segment, I'm still kind of like, I don't know, man. And then how about Santos Escobar showing up in NXT to help the family out against Gallus?
That was pretty cool. And then, of course, the Chase U stuff.
Oh, yes.
Was pretty dope as well.
Yeah, but NXT was a solid show. And like we say, this is a big week for the WWE. A lot of stuff going on. But one of those things, man, oh my gosh, the debut of American Nightmare Becoming Cody Rhodes on Peacock. This documentary is maybe the best documentary I've seen WWE and Peacock do together. I mean, I guess I haven't seen a ton of them, but man, this was cinematic. Like, B-Roll, what do you make of this documentary? I know you've seen it.
I quite thoroughly enjoyed it. Every bit of it. It is very good, very well done. Loves Stephen Amell, and he was like the perfect one to get to narrate it as well.
It. Mm-hmm.
And like you said, like the cinematic parts with it, like transitioning of him like walking through that desert was just it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was amazing. If you haven't watched it yet, folks, you got to check it out, man. It is a must see. And how about this? We found out we're getting a shakeup on the announce team, or are we really? Like, it's not a huge shakeup, but they are switching where it looks like Michael Cole and Wade Barrett will be calling Monday Night Raw now. And then we're going to get Fick and Corey Graves calling SmackDown, but Michael Cole is going to be staying on SmackDown. So we're going to get a double dose of Michael Cole each and every week on WWE television.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I accept it because I mean this Michael Cole. I am loving his work he's doing right now. It's just awesome and amazing that he doesn't have some crazy senile old man screaming in his ears. It's got to feel so good to finally be rid of him, and you don't have to worry about him. You don't have to talk about. Oh fuck. Okay, I guess we got to talk about this story. Yes,
I love that smug smile too. Just like
Vincent Kennedy McMahon. It was revealed that he was actually served some papers, and yeah, served not the kind of papers you want, folks. There was a search warrant done, and a federal grand jury sent a subpoena. Apparently, can this guy just fucking go away, man? Just please. I'm done seeing you on my fucking TV, but. Interesting enough, though, we do have a little bit of an inside scoop on everything that went down because a good close personal friend of ours, one Best Gout Machine, was actually the one serving the papers. So check this out.
All characters and events in this show, even those based on real-life people, are entirely fictional, and all celebrity voices are impersonated. Poorly. What the hell is going on here? All of you, get out of my house right now! Mr. McMahon, the name is Sheriff Gout, and I am here to search your home. We have an arrest warrant. No, I'm sorry, we have a search warrant, but we need to go through your home right now. We need to search your house urgently and immediately. Sorry, we already had to storm in there, but my Irish lieutenant over here has already searched the premises. What did you find, Officer what do we have here, lads? I walked into this man's house. He was having sex with a room temperature watermelon. How did you know that the watermelon was room temperature? I'm afraid you need to focus. By the way, do you have any hand sanitizer? This is ludicrous. I know what you're all after. You're after my grapefruits. Sir, I'll have you know that what we are looking for is not in any way, shape, or form fruit. On a side note, I don't even like fruit or vegetables. Whenever I get myself a double cheeseburger, I ask for absolutely no tomatoes or lettuce whatsoever. It is just not Christian. Wait a damn second! McMahon? You're a Scot! I hate Scot! Alright, you listen up right now. Don't you dare say a damn bad word about America's favorite toilet paper. What were you looking for, it's a son-in-law, Triple H! Triple H! Oh, there we go! Got the corner of my oars! That rat bastard, Vinnie Mac, pulled a fast one on us. We can't find him nowhere. Where could he be? Haha, they'll never suspect that I went out to tone my glutes. Haha, nice try, coppers. That don't impress me much. To quote my favorite singer, Shania Twain! I'm sorry, sir. Shania Twain! That hurt my throat. I need a lozenge.
Oh, that Best Gout, you've done it again.
He is a man of multiple skills.
He really is. Yes, he really is. And Mr. B-Roll, we are getting it's getting down to the wire, brother. The G1 Climax 33. We are down to getting ready to start the playoff. It's crazy to think this tournament has just went so rapidly fast. Now, we do know who the A and B block winners are, who will be going to the playoff. However, we still don't. Well, hold on a second. You seem a little disappointed. We'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about the C and the D block, which I think these are the blocks that are definitely the most up in the air. First of all, in the C block, right now, as it stands, David Finlay, Evil, and Eddie Kingston are all tied first with 8 points. Now, right after that, you have Tama Tonga and Shingo Takagi with 7 points. Now, Mikey Nicholas, Hanare, and Tomohiro Ishii have all been eliminated. But the way this plays out, you've got Finlay going against Eddie Kingston and virtually like win and you're in. And there's still a possibility that Tama Tonga or Shingo could get in. I mean, this is just crazy to me, like how this blocks went down, because it was like it seemed, and the G1 they always do this shit too, as far as like booking man, because it's always these guys just make a comeback and come out of nowhere and like somehow stay in it. As long as Evil doesn't like get to go to the playoffs, I'm fine. I really want Eddie Kingston to be there, but I know Finley's going to beat him. I truly think Finley and Tama Tonga are going to be the ones to come out as C block. But let's talk about. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, would it be possible? I mean, what if Kingston and Finley had a time limit draw?
Well, that's a possibility, and then like you could end up with a scenario where like you've got multiple guys with 9 points, and then they would have to have like a triple threat to see who gets it. I don't know. It's crazy, man, but like I know C block, there's a lot of potential, and there's also a lot of potential going on in the D block as well. Now, as it stands, Jeff Cobb, Tetsu Naito, and Zack Sabre Jr. are all tied at first with 8 points. But right behind them is Hiroshi Tanahashi and Hiroki Goto with 6 points. Now, Shane Haste, Alex Coughlin, and Toru Yano have all been eliminated as they only have 4 points. But I'm telling you now, damn it, my man, my guy, Naito is going to come out victorious. I just know it. I think it's going to be Naito and shit. I don't know who else is going to be there with him, but I know Naito's going to be there, damn it. I just believe in my heart of hearts that Naito's going to be there.
Yeah, probably, I don't know, pick him maybe between Cobb or Sabre Jr.
Yeah, it's between them, and I think, because the way it looks, because the last match is going to be for Naito, he's got to go against Tanahashi. I don't know. I think it's going to end up being probably Zack Sabre Jr. and Naito if I had to pick one. But like I said, folks, we do have A block and B block winners, and let's talk about the A block first.
Yeah.
Little surprised here. I think is this why you're a little disappointed here?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Sonata has been running rampant through this G1 as he is undefeated. He dominated everybody in this block, but I don't think that's why you're sad. I think it's because of the gentleman to the right there. I did not see Hikuleo like winning out of the A block. Out of all the guys that was in there,
didn't he like start 0-3 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. So, and just what a comeback he's made, and that's like I say, that's what the G1's known for. So, but Hikuleo and Sonata are representing the A block in the playoff. Now in the B block, no surprise here. Kazuchika Okada and William Ospreay have advanced to the playoff. Like I say, as soon as it was announced, I think we all knew Okada and Ospreay were going to be the final two left in this block.
I mean, if Ospreay wouldn't have made it through, I would have been even more upset.
But man, Ospreay had a hell of a way to get there. His last matchup against going up against El Phantasmo was incredible. So, but man, oh man, the G1 is in full swings, and that's not the only Japanese tournament going on right now that's in the full swing of things. How about the 5-star Grand Prix in Stardom is underway, and as it stands right now in the Red Stars, your leader is Natsuka Tora with 6 points. Then you have Natsupo with 4 points, along with Tam Nakano. Then followed by Maya Iwatani, Suri, and Suzy Suzuki with 2 points. And then Hasuka, Starlight Kid, Ami Sori, and Sai Kamatani have yet to pick up a win. Now, over on the Blue Stars side of things, the leader, we got a 3-way tie. We've got Sora Anoy, Mina Shirakawa, and Mira all tied at 4, followed by Julia at 3, along with Makia at 3, Utami Hachishita at 2 points, Momo Watanabe at 2 points, Maria May at 2 points, Azum at 2 points, and then Hanan dead last with 0 points. But I think they're only literally through like 3 rounds in this, so there's plenty more to come here from this 5-star Grand Prix. And GCW took place this past weekend in Detroit at Harpo's with My Name is GCW. Fun show, but the big surprise of the night, Jeff Hardy making his GCW debut as he come out and confronted GCW champion, the man we all know and love as Cousin Blake. Pretty cool moment, I thought. But speaking of GCW and the Indies, let's go to our good buddy Michael Duplessis with the Indie
Report. Y'all, it's Roy Michael. So, got a few great independent wrestling events around the country for you. First off, we have the East Texas Wrestling Alliance presenting the Black Bart Benefit Show at the Gilmer Civic Center in Gilmer, Texas. That is 1218 U.S. Highway 271 North, Gilmer, Texas. Bell time at 7 p.m. And general admission is $10. Next, we have Intense Wrestling Entertainment presents Unstoppable in Augusta, Georgia. Doors open at 6:30 with a bell time at 7 p.m. That is at American Legion 90 Millage Road in Augusta, Georgia. Coastal Championship Wrestling is returning to Nashville for their Summer Glory event August 19th. At the Troubadour Theater. That is 2416 Music Valley Drive, Nashville, Tennessee. Gates open at 7 p.m. Bell time. Gates open at 7 p.m. Bell time is at 8 p.m. You can get your tickets at ccwrestlingfl.com. And then last but not least, Find Yourself Wrestling, August 12th, presents Straight Outta Pompton. 1 Perrion Avenue, Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. Bell time there is 5 p.m.
Becky Lynch and Sheamus being upset with their booking really isn't a story, considering if you're from the UK, you really don't like the direction WWE Creative's going. Hey, it's your boy Jay, bona fide member of the Dirt Sheet Press, and it's SummerSlam weekend, so you know us Dirt Sheet reporters are busy as hell. As you can tell, I'm dressed to impress, heading to a GCW show right now. But here are some stories you may have missed this past week within professional wrestling. And as I mentioned, it's SummerSlam weekend. And we got a bit of a surprise last night as Io Sky cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase to become Women's World Champion. Her and Bayley, who came to the ring with her, were joined by Dakota Kai to have a nice moment for Damage Control and the fans in the ring upon Sky's winning of the women's title. As we all know, they appeared just 1 year ago at SummerSlam, and it was Triple H's first big statement as becoming head booker. Well, it turns out that this surprise fun moment was a bit of a last-minute decision as WWE realized that the Bloodline storyline match finish was going to fall a bit flat, so put in a call to Dakota Kai to have her come down so Damage Control could celebrate Sky's big win. And speaking of the Bloodline storyline, it turned out this was already supposed to be over. As we know, it's a Paul Heyman story, so there's no real way to get out of it, as always happens whenever Paul Heyman writes a great story. But it is very possible that last night was supposed to be the end. But WWE, feeling pressure from the networks, had to keep the story going. The Bloodline storyline is the highest rated segments in all of professional wrestling right now, and the networks do not want it to end. So it seems like we are going to be stuck with the Bloodline saga as long as it's still bringing in those sweet, sweet ratings. But now that Jimmy's turned on Jay, how do you think the Bloodline storyline is gonna end? Also in AEW land, FTR and CM Punk celebrated Dennis Condrey, one half, or I guess one part, of the Midnight Express after Collision last night. The scuttlebutt is that CM Punk and FTR were going to put an invitation out to Jim Cornette as well, famous manager of the Midnight Express. But Tony Khan and those higher up in AEW shut it down before talks even began, as the Elite are starting to lighten up, and it seems like we're having more and more of a possibility of the Elite versus CM Punk in FTR. But those just aren't the facts. Those are the dirty facts. The dirt sheet news!
Got some injury reports here for you here, and I can't believe this one. This sucks, man. Pac is injured again, and it looks like he's going to be out on the shelf for a long time, unfortunately. So I'm not sure what the extent of the injury is, but I hate to see this because, I mean, he just got back, but, I mean, he wrestles such an intense style. I mean, it is what it is. So, and speaking of injuries, I know Jamie Hayter has been out for a while. I know there was a lot of people hoping to see her at All In. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It looks like the earliest timetable they're thinking she may be able to return to action in February. So we wish her well and hope we get to see her sooner rather than later. And boy, I don't know how I feel about this one, Mr. B-Roll. It looks like doctors are advising, or some doctors are advising Big E that he's done and that he may have to retire. If he did, he had an incredible career regardless. I want him to be safe first and foremost. You know, the jealous wrestling fan in me like wants to see him wrestle again because he's so damn good. But like I say, if this is it for him, man, what a run Big E had as a former WWE champion, former Money in the Bank, multi-time tag team champion as part of the greatest faction in the past, 15 years with the New Day. Yeah, Big E had a hell of a run. Well, it's that time of the show. Let's go to Brian with Brian's Random Moment of the Week.
And yes, it's that time again on PW64, Brian's House of Random with Brian's Random Moment of the Week. And continuing the series, straighten the head up a little bit, that I've been doing for the last several weeks here on PW60, with looking at factions throughout wrestling history and taking it where you basically build your ultimate version of a faction. Last week, we looked into WCW and looked at Raven's Flock, or Raven's Nest, the faction there. And of course, the stipulation was a 2-1-2 formula. 2 long-term members. One has to be Raven. You cannot replace him because, of course, it's his faction. But then one other full-time member, a short-term, and 2 people who were never in the group in WCW. And again, you can use wrestlers from that time with these different factions, but you don't have to stick with that same company. So here's an example. We're going to continue with Raven. We're going to move on to the precursor to that, which was Raven's Flock in ECW. So, same formula. 2 long-term, 1 short-term, and 2 who were never in the faction. So, again, like last week, 2 long-term members, 1 has to be Raven. So you cannot replace him, obviously, and for good reason. But who is the other long-term member you keep? Stevie Richards or who else? Who's the short-term member? Whether as a manager-type person or a wrestler that you would keep. But the interesting part is who are 2 people you would put in the faction that were never a part of it in ECW. Now, this does not have to be just ECW wrestlers from that time. It could be wrestlers who were from WCW, WWF, or anybody that you feel would have fit Raven's Flock perfectly. Raven's Nest, Raven's Flock in ECW. So that's your choice. So Raven and which other long-term member, which short-term member, and what 2 people who were never in the faction in ECW would you include in your ultimate version of Raven's Flock in ECW? Enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy the rest of PW60. And check us all out. All the content creators here, check us all out on all the socials and give us a follow. We would greatly appreciate it. Bye for now.
Oh, Brian, we love you. And we love our Wrestle Talk content creators. And we got a very special one this week because this man has entertained us for years. Our Wrestle Talk content creator of the week this week is the quintessential stud muffin himself, Joel Gertner. I just can't believe he's only got 289 followers. I know he's got a ton on Instagram, but y'all go follow him on TikTok. He has so much amazing content on here. I love all of his food tries, and you get to see some of the Gertnerisms that we know and love Joel Gertner from so many years in the wrestling business. Joel Gertner, we love you here at PW60, and we're going to help you grow and get you to 1,000, good sir, because you deserve it. And Joel Gertner is our Wrestle Talk content creator of the week. Now, this was interesting. In promotion for SummerSlam this week, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns were on ESPN First Take, and Paul made some pretty bold claims that he's pretty much the GOAT. It's very interesting what he said about Jimmy Hart as well. I know he's just joking, of course, but still, it was a nonetheless very interesting segment on ESPN this week. And how about this? Kudos and congratulations to one Deanna Purrazzo, the virtuoso, as she graduated from college this past week. So we here at PW60, we want to wish her congratulations. And here's some big news. Kairi Sane appears to be coming back to the WWE. So it looks like she has re-signed with the WWE, and we'll start with them here in the very near future. It's going to be great to see Kairi back. I did love her run that she was doing in Stardom, but it's going to be great to have her back in the fold of the WWE, though. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. And how about this news this week, Mr. B-Roll? The ESPN released a list of 30 wrestlers under 30, and no surprise, MJF was number one. What did you think of the list?
Don't know why Logan Paul's number 10, but
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it is.
It was a pretty good list. But
Rhea number 2 makes sense. I love seeing Vikingo as high as he was. You know, I thought it was a good list. I was okay with this. So, but that is going to come to the end here. Mr. B-Roll, I want to thank you so much for all that you've done, that you always do for us. But like we talked about, I got something I gotta do here. So thank you so much for joining us here on PW60. I love you, brother.
Love you, buddy.
So for those of you who follow me know, this past week I had the roughest day of my life because I lost my best friend. I lost my baby boy. I lost my dog, Peanut. And I really can't put into words how special he really was. I mean, from the first day I met him, it was love at first sight. It literally was. I never really had a dog or was a dog person up until Savannah and I got him. And he's more than just a dog. He was more than just my son. I mean, he was my heart. He had my heart. And like he was so important. Like guys, if you watch any of the Chubb Lives, you know, like you've seen this how animated he was, just how much of a good boy he was. I mean, he's more like I say, he's more than a dog. He's so special. I mean, he was literally an angel put on this earth. Like, I can't tell you like how much of a better person he's made me just by the unconditional love that he shows. He made me a better person, made me be a better man. And I'm so thankful for the time I have with him. But it also hurts, man, that I know I'm not going to be able to walk him. I'm not going to be able to feed him a cheeseburger. I'm not going to be able to hide him, give him his favorite blankie. But man, Peanut was the most perfect thing you could ever ask for. Like, he's so much more than a dog. He like I say, man, he's my son. Just everything about him, everything he did, like all his little, like, it's the little things I miss the most right now. Just being in the kitchen and doing dishes or cooking and you're not there. And I'm going to miss that. I'll miss it so much. But I'm also so grateful the time we had, and I'm so grateful for the fact that like your personality has rubbed off on your brothers, and just like how I see little things with in Reggie and in Cash and Chubby. Just there's just so much that your mother and I miss you so much, but I know you're in a better place, and you're not hurt, and that's the most important thing. And your mom and I, we're gonna be okay, but we're gonna miss you every day. You are our baby boy. You are an angel. And there's a saying: a dog doesn't care if you're rich or poor. Give a dog your heart, and he'll give you his. And Peanut, you're forever gonna have your mother as a nice heart, and just know we're always gonna miss you. We love you so much, and I know there's gonna be a day again where we get to hold you, and give you kisses, and give you everything because we love you so much. I'm gonna miss you, Peanut. I'm gonna miss you so much. But like I say, I know you're in a much better place now. And you're looking down on us with what we call that Goomba face right there. Peanut, your mom and I miss you and love you so much. And I can't wait to see you again.